This is Mamuni. Thank you so much for being Amar Baba Ma. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. The central government introduced the Unified Pension Scheme, that is UPS, on 24th August 2024. The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved the Unified Pension Scheme for central government employees. This scheme will be effective from 1st April 2025 and will benefit 23 lakh central government employees. Each state government adopt the scheme, extending benefits to more government employees across India. This scheme promises a fixed pension for government employees based on their contributions. What is the Unified Pension Scheme or UPS? The UPS aims to balance fiscal policy with employee benefits. It combines a defined benefit pension similar to the old pension scheme, that is OPS, with the contributory nature of the National Pension Scheme or New Pension Scheme, that is NPS. What are the provisions or features or the 5 pillars of the Unified Pension Scheme? In this video, I am going to explain in detail with examples and calculations for the 5 features of the new Unified Pension Scheme. So let's get started. Number 1. Assured pension. Government employees with at least 25 years of service will receive a guaranteed pension equal to 50% of their average basic pay from the last 12 months before retirement, unlike the marked linked returns of the NPS, which does not promise a fixed monthly pension amount. Those with fewer years of service will receive a pension proportional to their tenure, with the minimum qualifying service set at 10 years. Now, how much pension will the retired central government employees get? Let's understand the assured pension with the help of an example and calculations. Example 1. A central government employee, Rahul, has an average basic pay of rupees 60,000 over the last 12 months of service before retirement, and the number of years of service is 25 years. Then what will be the pension amount under Unified Pension Scheme? Amount of assured pension is equal to 50% of his average basic pay from the last 12 months before retirement. That is, amount of assured pension is equal to 60,000 into 50% is equal to rupees 30,000 per month. So, under Unified Pension Scheme, Rahul would receive a monthly pension of rupees 30,000. Please note, monthly basic pay is equal to rupees 60,000 and the basic pay per annum is equal to rupees 60,000 into 12 months is equal to rupees 7,20,000. If we again calculate monthly basic pay, we will get 7,20,000 divided by 12 months is equal to rupees 60,000 again. Because the average basic pay of rupees 60,000 over the last 12 months of service before retirement was the same amount. Now, let us suppose that Rahul, a central government employee, promoted to a higher pay scale of rupees 75,000 for the last 4 months of his tenure with the government. So, Rahul's basic pay per annum over the last 12 months of service before retirement is equal to rupees 60,000 for first 8 months and rupees 75,000 for last 4 months. Now see, Rahul's basic pay per annum is equal to rupees 60,000 into 8 months plus rupees 75,000 into 4 months is equal to rupees 7,80,000. So, Rahul's monthly basic pay is equal to rupees 7,80,000 divided by 12 months is equal to rupees 65,000 and not rupees 60,000 because Rahul's basic pay for the last 12 months before retirement was not the same amount. Understood? Please note, if an employee is promoted to a higher pay scale for the last few months of his tenure with the government, then we have to take the average of the last 12 months of service before retirement. Clear? So, in the example 2 or in the second case, the amount of assured pension is equal to rupees 65,000 into 50% is equal to rupees 32,500 per month. So, under unified pension scheme in the second case or example 2, Rahul would receive a monthly pension of rupees 32,500. Please note, the pension amount would proportionally go down for service periods between 10 years and 25 years. So, how much pension will the retired central government employees get for completing 15 years of service and not 25 years of service? So, let's understand the assured pension for completing 15 years of service with the help of an example and calculations. Example 3. A central government employee, Simran, has an average basic pay of rupees 70,000 over the last 12 months of service but has only completed 15 years of service. So, first of all, let's calculate the service ratio. Service ratio is equal to 15 years divided by 25 years is equal to 0.6 or 60%. So, service ratio is equal to 0.6 or 60%. The amount of assured pension is equal to 70,000 into 50% into 0.6 is equal to rupees 21,000 per month. So, under Unified Pension Scheme, Simran would receive a monthly pension of rupees 21,000 and not rupees 35,000. By the way, if you don't wish to calculate the service ratio, then I will give you the percentage of last 12 months average salary from 10 years to 25 years table in the end of the video. Number 2. Assured minimum pension. Employees with a minimum of 10 years of service will be entitled to a minimum pension of rupees 10,000 per month upon retirement. So, how much assured minimum pension will the central government employee get for completing 12 years of service So let's understand the amount of assured minimum pension for completing 12 years of service with the help of an example and calculations. Example 4. A central government employee, Nikita, has completed 12 years of service with an average basic pay of rupees 15,000 per month. Then, what will be the assured minimum pension amount of Nikita under Unified Pension Scheme? Amount of assured minimum pension is equal to rupees 15,000 into 50% is equal to rupees 7,500. But even though 50% of rupees 15,000 is rupees 7,500, Nikita will receive the assured minimum pension of rupees 10,000 per month, as it is higher than rupees 7,500, because the rule is rupees 7,500 and rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. Understood? So, under Unified Pension Scheme, Nikita would receive a monthly assured minimum pension of rupees 10,000 and not rupees 7,500. Number 3. Assured family pension. In the unfortunate event of an employee's death, their spouse or their immediate family will receive a family pension amounting to 60% of the pension the employee was receiving. Now let's understand the assured family pension with the help of an example and calculations. Example 5. A central government employee, Ranveer, was receiving a pension of rupees 40,000 per month before he passed away. The amount of assured family pension is equal to rupees 40,000 into 60% is equal to rupees 24,000 per month. So, under Unified Pension Scheme, Ranveer's family would receive a monthly pension of rupees 24,000. Number 4. Inflation indexation. The indexation benefit is a provision that applies to assured pension, assured minimum pension, and assured family pension. This benefit ensures that these pensions are adjusted to keep up with the inflation and changes in the cost of living over time. Indexation will be calculated based on the All India Consumer Price Index for industrial workers, that is AICPI-IW. Dearness relief, that is DR, is an allowance paid to government employees to help mitigate the effects of inflation. Dearness relief will be based on the All India Consumer Price Index for industrial workers, that is AICPI-IW, similar to service employees. Number 5. Lump sum payment at superannuation. Employees will receive a lump sum payment at superannuation in addition to gratuity. The payment is calculated as 1/10 of monthly emoluments, that is P plus DA, as on the date of superannuation for every completed 6 months of service. This payment does not diminish the quantum of secured pension. So let's understand a lump sum payment at superannuation with the help of an example and calculations. Example 6. A central government employee, Baba, has a monthly emolument of rupees 75,000 including pay plus DA at the time of superannuation and has completed 30 years of service or 60 months, that is 30 into 2 for every 6-month period of service. Please note, if you break up 30 years of service for every 6-month period of service, you will get 30 into 2 or 60. In other words, there are 66-month period of service in 30 years of service. So, just multiply the number of years of service by 2. Now let's calculate a lump sum payment at superannuation from the example. Lump sum payment is equal to 1/10 of rupees 75,000 into 60 or is equal to 1 by 10 into rupees 75,000 into 60 is equal to rupees 4,50,000. So, under the Unified Pension Scheme, Baba would receive rupees 4,50,000 in addition to his assured pension and gratuity. Now, here is the table for pension amount percentage of last 12 months average salary. As we know, if a central government employee has completed 25 years of service, the percentage will be 50%. Since you don't know if a central government employee has completed 24 years of service, what will be the percentage? You can remember how to calculate service ratio, or you can do this in unitary method. As we know, if a central government employee has completed 25 years of service, the percentage will be 50%. Then the workings will be 50 by 25 into 24 is equal to 48%. You don't have to remember or memorize the table. We are just using the unitary method because, as we know, the pension amount is proportionally reduced for services periods between 10 and 25 years. Okay? Since we know if a central government employee has completed 25 years of service, then the percentage will be 50%. So, just apply the unitary method. If a central government employee has completed 23 years of service, the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 23 is equal to 46%. Understood? Similarly, if a central government employee has completed 22 years of service, the workings will be 50 by 25 into 22 years is equal to 44%. We are just using the unitary method. Understood? So, if a central government employee has completed 21 years of service, the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 21 years is equal to 42%. Similarly, if a central government employee has completed 20 years of service, the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 20 years is equal to 40%. If a central government employee has completed 19 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 19 years is equal to 38%. If a central government employee has completed 18 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 18 years is equal to 36%. If a central government employee has completed 17 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 17 years is equal to 34%. If a central government employee has completed 16 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 16 years is equal to 32%. If a central government employee has completed 15 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 15 years is equal to 30%. If a central government employee has completed 14 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 14 years is equal to 28%. If a central government employee has completed 13 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 13 years is equal to 26%. If a central government employee has completed 12 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 12 years is equal to 24%. If a central government employee has completed 11 years of service, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 11 years is equal to 22%. If a central government employee has completed 10 years, then the percentage will be 50 by 25 into 10 years is equal to 20%. The central government employees who have completed at least 10 years of service are eligible under Unified Pension Scheme for a fixed pension amount which is rupees 10,000 per month. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your precious time. I sincerely hope this was helpful.